You ever try to do something super fast and you feel like it goes slower? Okay, there you are. Am I sharing my screen, hopefully? Yeah?
Yeah, we can see it
Okay,
now.
perfect. And you can just see one slide?
That's right.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Once again, thank you everyone for joining. Today is Thursday the 30th, and you are attending the Preschool Promise Hub meeting. Let's see here. I'm going to go. Whoa, sorry. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1 second. There. Hopefully that is better. Thank you again for your patience for the third time. I appreciate that. I'm going to go to the next slide. This slide is the mission, vision, and values of Department of Early Learning and Care that we encourage you to come back and take a look at this slide. Next, the Preschool Promise. The Preschool Promise program lives within and is housed within the Program Design and Administration Office. This is the role of the office that you can come back and look. And then also this is how the PDAO team can help and support Preschool Promise grantees. Is spelled out on this slide. And then this is the Preschool Promise Hub meeting. Once again, these meetings are held the last Thursday of every month from 1:30 to 2:30, and they are recorded and then posted on the Hub enrollment dashboard. Here is the agenda. Today I'll have my colleague Sydney do a quick coordinated enrollment update, and then we're going to do a small poll to gain some knowledge from you. We will cover a few Preschool Promise grantee updates. I will talk about hub updates, specifically the two new reporting that we will go over, and then hopefully we will have time for questions and answers. You're welcome to ask questions as we go along, or you can wait until the end, whatever is easiest for you. So on to the Preschool Promise grantee updates. Just another call out. You're probably going to think I'm on repeat, and I am on repeat, but I do continue to get different Preschool Promise grantees that reach out to me stating that they do need and still in need of the Preschool Promise application. I do realize that some hubs have reached out to me, and you are working with your software developers. We know that. Thank you for that. But just want to all just as a gentle reminder that please do share the Preschool Promise application, including the certificate of eligibility, to all Preschool Promise grantees at the time that you place children. And then a little note on the update and change request form. This is a form that Preschool Promise grantees fill out and complete with changes to their program, and they submit it to the Preschool Promise team. I just want to call attention to you on this. I am working with the Preschool Promise team trying to do some changes to this process, and what that will hopefully look like is on instances where we do need information or need to be in communication with hubs, there will be certain times we will be reaching out to you to try to gain knowledge on some of the change requests. And then also too, I have asked for any of the update and change request that does affect your bodies of work and the duties that you do. And we are able to share that we include you on all the communications back to the Preschool Promise grantee. So hopefully you are more informed and able to do your job accordingly. We are still in the conversations of that process to the update and change request. So not implemented yet, but will be shortly. And then also too, I do receive a lot of emails. I just want to quickly cover the timeline of the update and change request form. When a Preschool Promise grantee submits it, the Preschool Promise team usually reviews those on Monday and then reaches out accordingly. Sometimes they need more information, but usually they reach out to the Preschool Promise grantee within 10 days. And so sometimes I do receive emails asking, hubs asking, has this happened or this happened? And I'm going to try to fix that by having you all be included on the areas where you can be included. But please know that if a update and change request form has just been submitted, it does take a few weeks for the Preschool Promise team to gather the appropriate data and then do a review and then be back in communication with the grantees. Next is the Preschool Promise grantee meetings. I just want to let you know that the Preschool Promise office hours are not recorded, but the Preschool Promise grantee bi-monthly meetings are recorded. And I did two little screenshots here that you can see on the slide. And this is just a little bit of guidance on where, if you are interested in going and listening to those recordings, you absolutely can do that. You just go on the Hub's enrollment dashboard. On the top, click on the Preschool Promise grantee dashboard, and a little bit lower, you will see catch up on Preschool Promise grantee meetings. And if you click there, that will open up the YouTube channel and you will be able to view those meetings on there. Oh, Sydney, I am so sorry. I didn't have a slide
No,
on
that's
C.
okay. That's
Yeah,
okay. I know
I'm
we
gonna,
didn't have a slide that might have thrown you off.
yes.
I would say stay on this train.
Okay.
And I can share towards the end
Okay, sorry.
whenever.
Okay, thank you.
Feel
Sorry,
free.
I
Yeah,
completely
no
forgot about
problem.
that. So thank you. Okay, so we covered this slide. Next, I have three Preschool Promise Hub updates. The first one is the weekly. You should have all been included on this communication. Please let me know if you are not. And this is in regards to the Preschool Promise weekly enrollment reporting. It has now moved and going to be changed. This will be your last week of weekly reporting. And it will now be called, starting next month, November, which is Saturday, moving forward, we will be calling this the Hub PSP Region Level Placement Report. And the first report will be due November 5th, and this will cover the data for October. So you will be reporting on the month of October, and it will be due November 5th. And this report will replace the weekly reporting. But one main difference is you will report your openings once a month, and we ask that you report the openings on the last day of the reporting month. And there's instructions in there and guidance in there, so you don't have to remember this. It will be easy for you to see. But I just want to call out a few changes since this is new this year. The first monthly report will be due November 5th, next week, and that means that you will receive Saturday on the 1st. You will receive a email via Smartsheets with the link for you to go in and report, just like you did on the weekly. Another new thing on this one is you will continue to receive links via Smartsheet, but the link will also now live on the Hub dashboard. And so if you don't have that link handy, all you need to do is log into that dashboard and you can access it via the Hub reporting forms. So the first report will be due November 5th. That will cover October data. Some hubs have reached out and said, but Mel, we've already reported on October data. And indeed you did. But this is a brand new report that we have created. And as hopefully we are all aware, this data flows into DELC's external facing dashboard, our public dashboard, and that has the data on it, the PSP data that shows the enrollment. And so the reason we did collect the enrollment numbers on a weekly basis, but we're going to collect on November 4th, asking for you to report your number of openings as of October 31st, which that would be tomorrow. And the entities that will be reporting on this will be Hub's dual funded Preschool Promise grantee, and then our tribal Preschool Promise grantees. Once again, the contact email is required so that you can receive that link. If you need any adjustments on who needs access or anything like that, all you need to do is reach out to me. Happy to make that adjustment. I'm going to pause for a moment and see if there are any questions in regards to the Hub Preschool Promise region level placement. I can't see you all, and so thank you for your help in advance, Sydney. Hopefully there was a little bit of celebration.
Yeah, I see a question from Alessandro.
Yes, thank you. So just to clarify, so the new weekly report with the new name basically is another month report. So what's the difference between the two? Basically, because we are going to report monthly, not more weekly. So we are going to tell you, I guess, the slot available at the end of the month, correct? So the only number you want is the slot as they are the last day of the month. So this will be another month report, correct? What I don't get the difference.
Yep, really good question, Alessandro. And so this Hub PSP region level placement report is going to replace the weekly enrollment reporting. So this will be your last week where you will do weekly reporting. That will completely go away in its entirety. And so you will no longer have a weekly enrollment report. This will turn into a monthly report, and you will have 2 monthly reports now. So your weekly now turned into a monthly report, and instead of reporting 4 times a month, you will report 1 opening number per month. But you are indeed correct, Alessandra, for the month of October, you did report weekly, and then you are once again going to report on November 5th, and that is just to ensure that our new reporting system is functioning accurately, and that we do post correct enrollment numbers on the external facing dashboard. That answer your question?
Mel, I think doing a quick recap on what the difference between the two now monthly reports is.
Absolutely. Yep. And I'm going to get there. I am jumping to the next slide and we will cover that. So on this report, the region level is your openings per your region. And then I'm going to jump to the next one. And this is the monthly. This is the old monthly report. And this one is called, it's changing from the Preschool Promise Hub monthly enrollment report to the Hub PSP site level placement for this program year. It will still be due on the 25th of each month, covering the previous month's data. And this is the report that breaks it down into site level, so not just grantee, but all the way down to site level information. And one of the main differences on the monthly report for this program year versus last program year is last program year, you were asked to report on all sites 80% or below. In this program year, you will be asked to report the number of openings per site on the last day of the reporting month. And then, like last year, any sites that are at below 80%, there'll be those drop-down questions the same as they were last year. The language has changed a little bit, but the questions are the same. We just did a little bit more wordsmithing, so it shouldn't look very, very different to you, and you should be familiar with that. So the monthly report that you all are used to is now called the Hub PSP site level placement report. And we will be reporting the number of openings per site as of the last day of that reporting month. And then any sites, once again, lower than 80% enrollment, it will come down and you'll report those extra additional questions. Was that helpful? Did that answer the questions? Because please let me know if you have any questions. That being
Molly,
said,
you got it.
oh,
I was going to say you got a thumbs up.
okay. That's good. That's positive. That being said, on the guidance, I am working on a one-page document. I already have it completed for the region level placement report, and I'm working on the site level report that I hope to have uploaded tomorrow. It will just be a one-page guidance document that will live right underneath the reporting links on the hub enrollment dashboard. So that way, if you weren't included on that email or from newer individuals or anybody, you won't need to go back and try to find that email that we sent out. You'll be able to have the guidance right there that you can open up and reference as you're doing that report. But hopefully there's not a lot of changes on either of these report. And then we're really hoping that it saves you time from going weekly reporting to that to move to that one monthly enrollment number. I will pause there and see if we have questions. I don't hear any, so that's a good thing. And I just want to call out, thank you. I did have a few individuals that did testing on this report for me from a few different hubs, and just want to thank them again for helping. And to all of you, as you are working through this report and using that guidance document that I was just referencing, I would be so grateful and encourage you. If you get in there and you think you have any wonderings or something doesn't make sense or you have questions, if you would be willing to just jot that down and send me a quick email so that I can improve our guidance, I'd be so grateful for that. So anytime you have thoughts, wondering, questions, just let me know so that I can make that more clear and that other people, because possibly if you have those questions, possibly somebody else does as well. And with that, I'm going to jump to the next slide. This is a form. The Preschool Promise Program Feedback and Support Request Form was a form that the Preschool Promise team implemented last year. And it is a form that is meant to document concerns that hub staff have observed or have information that was shared with them from a family that was enrolled in a Preschool Promise program. So please, we do encourage you to complete this form. This will help us respond in a timely manner and certainly help us send the feedback or if we need support to the correct individual who can give that support. And so please, that lives on the hub enrollment dashboard. It's over in the right-hand lower column under the DELC contact information. It is a little bit hidden down there under the DELC contact information. You do need to scroll down to find it, but it's called the Preschool Promise Program Feedback and Support Request Form. And we will be really encouraging all hub and CCRNR staff to please complete this form so that we can certainly do our due diligence in providing the feedback that you need and the support that you need. Any questions along the line with that?
I have a quick question, Mel.
Yes, please.
I was just curious. So I see that it says that you'll follow up with
Oh.
the Preschool Promise grantee within 10 business days. Is there any follow-up for hubs, just noting like what follow-up was taken or just like an overview of like what that conversation looked like?
That's a really good question. And it's not called out here, but on the actual form in and of itself, it does call out that I think the wording is we will follow up with CCR&R and hub staff as we deem appropriate. But that being said, we do anytime we are able and have the ability to follow up, we certainly do that. So to the fullest extent that we can do that and able to do that, we will do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Sydney. I am going to put myself on mute quickly, and then I'm going to hand it over to my new colleague, Sydney, to give a coordinated enrollment update.
Thanks, Mel. Hi, everybody. Sydney Brown. I'm the new Coordinated Enrollment Analyst on the Community Systems team here at DELC. It's nice to see you all. I think hopefully we've all had a chance to meet at this point. I just wanted to take a quick moment to share a couple updates and follow up on some items that I mentioned, I think either in the last Preschool Promise Hub meeting and also discussed a bit in the Hub director's monthly meeting for anybody who was there as well. So one thing that we've discussed is this idea of either bringing back or kind of creating a new additional space to support the coordinated enrollment work that you all are doing beyond sort of the focus of Preschool Promise placement, which is, what this meeting here is focused on. So we are still planning on doing that. We're still working on what the best sort of approach to that will be. But in terms of timing, just so you're aware, what we're thinking is that it would be best to bring that back in along with the new coordinated enrollment grant period. So we'll have a new grant that's going to go into effect on April 1st. So we'll likely get that group started around March or April, just in alignment with supporting that grant. But if anybody has any feedback they want to share, it's been really helpful to hear from folks so far on like what's worked well in the past and what you'd like to see in the future. So I'm always happy to hear more from you about that. And then the second update that I wanted to share was, meanwhile, since that's a few months off, I would also love to get everybody together during the month of November to get some more input from you all on the Build coordinated enrollment work group recommendations that we're in the process of assessing right now. So this would be sort of a one-off meeting. And just to be clear, the purpose of this meeting would not be for us to be sort of presenting out information to you. It's really going to be a session for us to gather input from you. So this meeting would not be recorded. It would be more for the purpose of getting your input and to be more conversational. So I did put together a quick poll that I'm going to try launching here and see if it works, just to look at a few meeting dates for November. And I realize, schedules are especially tough this time of year, but let's just see if we can find a date that will work. So these are 3 different dates that are in that middle week of November, so the week between the Veterans Day holiday and the Thanksgiving holiday. So I'm going to try launching this poll. And so it's a select all poll. So if you could just check any of the dates that will work for you, and I'll give us all a minute or two to do that so you can pull up your calendars. Okay, it looks like it launched for me, so I'm going to assume that's
can see it.
working. Okay, great. Oh, interesting. Athena, it says you don't have permissions to view the poll.
I don't have
Yes,
permission
Sydney.
either.
Oh,
Me neither.
no. Oh, darn.
Maybe
Okay.
would you know what, maybe Sydney, no worries. If you would just if the individuals who don't have access to the poll, if you would just put your responses, I think hopefully you can see them on the screen. If you would just be willing to put your responses in the chat, then I will tally them up that way. Is that
Thanks,
okay,
Neil. That would
Sydney?
yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna put the dates in the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so much for our poll experiment, but now we know there's permissions involved. We had one prior on our Zoom meeting invite as well, but I'm just gonna put these in here. So this is Tuesday, November 18th, 1 to 2 p.m. Wednesday, November 19th, and they're all 1 to 2. And so if you could just maybe just type in the day of the week, just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for those ones to indicate which ones you'd be available for.
And you can list more than one, list all of the ones that you're available for, please.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for all the chats coming in so far. Maybe give everybody another minute to look at their calendars. Yeah, and then I'll follow up. So after we go through the meeting chat after and tally the responses and find a date that works for the most amount of folks, I'll send out an email and a meeting invite for you for that. But any quick questions or comments on either of those updates?
Oh, thank you for that,
Mhm.
Rod. I didn't, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Rod said there's a Northwest Pyramid Model Conference on the 19th or 20th. So I'm seeing some head nods, maybe other folks are going to be at that as well. Okay, that's good to know.
Any other questions for Sydney? And if you think of any after the fact, please just reach out.
Hey, thanks everyone.
Okay, with that, I am not going to continue to share so that I can see you all. And we will open it up for questions and answers. I'm so thankful that we have ample time, sometimes that we don't, and we do today. So really grateful for that. And then if we get through questions and answers, then I have a discussion question to ask you so that we can learn from each other and that Sydney and I can learn from you. So any questions that we can try to help you with? Jordan. Hi, Jordan.
Hello again. A quick question,
Mhm.
maybe two questions regarding the update and change request form.
Mhm.
So the first is the email that you CC hubs on when you let programs know that you've approved their change. If you could indicate what the change was that they requested, because we're fortunate enough partners are communicating when they submit a request to DELC. But if we're not in the loop when a partner or when a program requests to move a slot, for example, and we just get an updated email saying this was approved and we don't exactly know what was approved or how many slots were moved. So being able to access what exactly was approved by DELC would be incredibly helpful.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I actually, I will absolutely bring that feedback back. That being said, I don't know what that will look like now. I don't know if hub staff will be included on the communication to the grantee, or if that means I will be included, and then I'll loop it around. And yeah, but certainly we'll bring that back. And another part of that conversation is on certain update and change requests, not all of them and not very many, but there is a few of them that we are having conversations that before decisions or during the review from the Preschool Promise team, that there's certain instances that we probably moving forward will be reaching out to hub staff to gain knowledge from you in order for us to make educated and more informed decisions on, and because you have the knowledge of your community. And so that's also being talked about. And that kind of goes back to what you were saying, Jordan, like if slots are going to be moved, you know, we should be moving forward. We should be reaching out to hub staff, asking what that looks like. Is there a need in your community? That just has not been implemented yet, but it should be coming. It should be coming soon.
Okay, I appreciate that. And then a second question is the hub dashboard that lists all of the grantees and where our slots are allocated. It's not quite accurate to what we have at the moment, and so I wasn't sure how do we like. There was a program, for example, that requested a slot be moved last program year, and this year it does not reflect the change that they requested last year, and then they requested a second change. So we just want to make sure that our numbers are matching what's on the dashboard.
Yeah, good question. And I actually know in your hub region there is some discrepancies that I'm aware that the PSP team is working on their side. I haven't looked today. I did look yesterday and it hadn't been updated, but I haven't checked today. But please know that they are working on that. But the answer to your question is if you do see discrepancies, please just reach out to me. I'm the one that works with our data team on that sheet that you see, the one. And Jordan, let me back up and interrupt myself. You're talking about the sheet where you can scroll over, you can see some of the site information, like if they have dual language or if they offer transportation and such.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
okay.
Exactly.
I
that
just
one.
want to make sure my assumption was correct. Yeah. So if there's any discrepancies, please just reach out to me and I will look into that for you. But please do know that sometimes the update and change request will happen and then it will take a minute to kind of make its way through our internal teams and our system, because the PSP team does not make that changes. Our data team does, and sometimes it does take a few days, but certainly if it's a period of time and there's obviously discrepancies, we need to be aware of that, and we just thank you in advance for calling that to our attention.
Thank you, Mel.
It looks like Eastern, it looks like you all also too. If you wouldn't mind, Tammy or Rod, just let me know what grantee you're referring to, and if it's a specific site, and then the slot numbers, and I will look into that. And guess what, Jordan? You're allowed to ask more than 2 questions. Do you have another one?
Not at the moment, but I will brainstorm anything else that pops up.
Okay. Has anyone, I better, I'll be quiet and let you ask questions. Has anyone had the opportunity to already go in and do that reporting? If so, I was just curious if you found it easy, hopefully. I think the individuals that did reported because they were going to be out of office, and so hence they wouldn't be here. We'll give another update that was not on on the agenda, the Preschool Promise Enrollment Manual, version 5.0, and the 2025-2027 Preschool Promise application, including the certificate of eligibility, are back with our communications department with one last edit, and then it will go into translation. And those, the only changes that I believe you are unaware of, and it should be pretty straightforward, is on the certificate of eligibility that you all fill out. There, on the income, on what documentation that you use to verify income, there was a line item that, let's say, would say SNAP, TANF, and so forth. Those have been broken out. So SNAP is on its own line item, TANF is on its own line item, and then ERDC and so forth. And that's just way for us to better be able to know what was used. And so that will be being released shortly. And I do realize that that means some of you all will need to be working with your developers, and that will need to be flipped on your end. Please know that we do, unless we absolutely need to or something, we do not intend, the Preschool Promise application is through 2025, 2027. And so we do not anticipate, unless it's completely needed, it will not go through another update this program year or next. And so hopefully, once you get this last one that's coming, it will remain as is. And then, of course, the Preschool Promise Enrollment Manual, we now took the dates off it and we put it as a version. And so we will only update that as needed. But the Preschool Promise application and certificate of eligibility, our intention is to update it on a biannual schedule. So every 2 years. Oh, am I sharing screen? Oh, wait. Am I sharing? Somebody said something about the
No.
screen. Oh,
No.
okay.
No,
Okay.
there's no slides.
Okay.
No, it was an issue with the poll causing an issue.
Okay. I just wondered. I will say too, I am have been receiving questions and emails on regards to the gala waivers. Please know that those do need to be submitted and approved on a yearly basis on a program year. It doesn't mean it has to be done. I mean, like, if you need to submit it in the middle of the year, if you think, oh, that's fine too, but please know, if it was approved last program year, do not make the assumption that it will be approved again this program year. The form needs to be completed again, and then it will go through the review process. And some individuals have reached out, and I encourage you to, if you believe that this is a need within your community, please submit the form and give us as much feedback and as much knowledge as you possibly can in order to help us make that decision. And I review those gala waivers on Thursdays, and then I try to get back to you in a timely manner. So I know I have a few to review today that are sitting there for me to go jump and take a look at. Any questions on no, I just lost my train of thought of what I was going to say. Hopefully it will come back to me if it was important. Another little update is that hopefully you were all included on the quarterly demographic enrollment report. It was due November 29th. That's 60 days after the end of the quarter. That date falls, I think, on a Saturday. I don't know. It falls on the weekend. And so I pushed that due date out to December 1st. And this quarter, there is no additional questions. And so the report is pretty straightforward. It's the data from the Preschool Promise application that you just report to us. Hi, Matt. Go ahead.
I don't have access to the demographic report. It says the form you're attempting is no longer active. Am I in the wrong spot?
No, you are not in the wrong spot, Matt. Thank you.
Is it
That
not
was the
active
sa-
yet?
Yeah, that was the same for me too, Mel.
Okay.
Just
Nope,
FYI.
that's just, I just recently closed out last program year and I wasn't able to open up this program year until I did that. And so it sounds like I need to go back. That's something I need to do. And so no error or anything on your part. I will take care of that. I will try to take care of that this afternoon. In the event that I do need to reach out to IT, it may not be done until beginning of next week, but the first report is not due to December 1st. And so you have some time, but thank you, Matt, for that call out because that is an error on my part that I need to fix, and I will
Okay,
do that.
thank you.
Mhm. Hi, Michelle.
Hello, Mel. I just had a quick kind of same concept on the no, not Multnomah, sorry, the coordinated enrollment dashboard for the application, at least for English. I haven't tried any other language, but it goes to a, oh yeah, they're all going to a Google 404 error page, and that the link was not found on the server. Yeah, probably a minor
Correct.
fix, but
Nope. You are absolutely correct. I am aware of that, but
okay.
I'm waiting for those new ones to come. So really good call out. And I didn't, yeah. So that should be done as soon as I get that back. That will be, you know what? Actually, Michelle, as I say that, let me look into that because if it's going to be a minute for it to go through translation on these last few edits, I will ensure that the other ones are put back up so that you can access them until depending on the timeline. So I'll look into that.
Okay, no worries. I just had somebody ask for a physical one today, which is very rare. But yes, so no worries at all. Just wanted to ping it, of course.
And then also along the lines with that, talking about translation, the Preschool Promise application and the certificate of eligibility does go through translation. The Preschool Promise enrollment manual does not. That we do not send that through translation. So I know somebody asked me, they said, we're waiting for the manual. The agency decided to do the application through translation. And so just wanted to make sure that we're all aware of that. Really thank you a lot too for your feedback on the Preschool Promise enrollment manual. I've heard a lot of positive feedback in a few areas were of improvements, and grateful and thankful for all of that. Please remember that there is on the dashboard, and as I say it, I better make sure it's accessible to you, but there is a Preschool Promise enrollment manual feedback form. And even though we are done with this round of edits and it's going to print, please, I encourage you, if there's anything in there, anything that you would like us to know, please do communicate that with us, because then I keep track of that. And then on the next round of edits and stuff, those will be pulled in. And so just because we are at this place in time, please, I would love all feedback on the Preschool Promise Enrollment Manual. Oh, we are almost at time. I was going to ask, hoping that being able to use Snap and not have to do verify income. I was going to ask how that's going and the time saving, but I think we're going to run out of time. I will, after this meeting is over, I will, as always, post the meeting and the presentation, the slide deck on the Hub enrollment dashboard so that you can access that. And then I send it out via an email too for you all. And if you think of any questions afterwards, please just email Sydney and I. And I will include our information too in that email. It was nice to see you all today. Thank you again for being here. And thank you once again for hobbling along with me in the beginning of the meeting and then quickly being flexible and pivoting over to the Teams meeting. Thank you for that. Any last minute questions before we jump off? Asa, you always give hearts. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, Mel. I got a
Oh, hi.
question.
Hi.
We might see this across the state, and maybe might not even be a good idea to discuss it on the recording, but just about the families who are afraid of taking their children right now to preschools. For example, some families have not continued with the application too because of fears of taking their kids to school. But I think we will start seeing a lot of similar trends with families being afraid of taking their children to school because of the situation right now, especially in areas, at least here in Portland Metro, East Multnomah County, and areas in Washington County too. So I just wanted to see if there's like any plans or any thoughts on what we can do to support the families, maybe something to prevent them from dropping out of the program and they can still receive that support, because providers will also be impacted by low enrollment because of the situation.
Really, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. And yes, we are indeed hearing. I'm on Teams channel chats where preschool promise grantees are really reaching out with a lot of concerns and uncertainty, and it sounds like parents are keeping children home, not in attendance and so forth. And so on the last meeting follow-up, I did include some resources that Alyssa Chatterjee, our director of early learning and care, had included. But I think that I know there's conversations over I think I may have a few more to share. They may be duplicate, but in the event that they're not, I'm going to plug that information in to the follow-up to this meeting. So I will send what we have and what DELC has been communicating to the Preschool Promise grantees, and certainly what the Preschool Promise team has been communicating to them. I will include that for you all. And then I don't think I'm going to include the other stuff, because if you know how I follow up and I keep the whole thread going. So if you just keep going down, you'll see the other stuff I sent last month. But any new resources that I can find or any new communications that were sent out, really good call out, and I will very necessary, and I will absolutely include that in the follow up.
Thank you so much, Mel.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Jorge. Are you hearing a lot about that? And it's good for us to know for sure. Are you hearing a lot about that directly from your providers and just through other connections in the community? And then I'm also curious if others are seeing this.
Yeah, actually, yesterday I had a meeting with one of our providers on the Gresham area. They themselves live near an elementary school, and there's
Okay.
been a lot of vehicles with no license plates,
Mm,
just to scare people.
yeah.
Some schools in
Mm.
East County as well have closed. Last week, this week, we had a few close calls like that, and she had mentioned that some parents are afraid of that situation as well. I know Michelle's the one who's been working with families, and they have reported their unwillingness to continue with the application process because of
Mhm.
the same fear.
Of course, and
Yeah,
as we all know, sometimes there's fear with uncertainty. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we are at 2:34. I'm going to let you all go, and thank you once again for joining and being present. Grateful that you're here. Happy that in the future, Sydney and I will be at some space. We'll be bringing back coordinated enrollment spaces for us to have. This meeting is more updates and more, and so excited to bring that back in the future. With that, you know where to reach us if you have any questions or anything that you would like us to know.
Hey Mel,
Thank you. Yeah.
are
Hi,
you in
Michelle.
contact? Are you in contact with Dana at all? Can you just send her well wishes?
Yes, I am I am in communication with her. Yeah, not work-wise, but I would that would really
Will you
mean a
just
lot
let
to
her
her.
know that? I mean,
course.
I'm definitely thinking of her. So
Yeah, for sure.
thank you.
For sure, for sure. As you imagine, I miss my colleague, the preschool promise manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dang it.
And
So
you know, that even that being said, as many of you know, this is my second year working on this, overseeing and working on this body of work, and have taken a tiny bit longer sometimes getting responses and questions answered. So just thank you. Thank you for your understanding.
oh, you
and your
do amazing work.
patience.
Really
Thanks,
appreciate.
Michelle.
So,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes, for sure. Have a safe Halloween if you will be out and about. Okay, I
You
will
too.
see you all later. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for the help, Sydney.